Phoebe Cates and Zach Galligan are caught in an evil fairy tale about a town besieged by hordes of nasty little gremlins. Next on Cinemax.
A relationship, I think, is like a shark. You know, it has to constantly move forward or it dies.
April on Cinemax.
And I think what we got on our hands is a dead shark.
5 flicks from a guy with a singular point of view.
If I get too mellow, I ripen and then rot.
Woody Allen in the director's chair.
I'm a clarinet player in 1973. I go into the hospital for a lousy operation. I wake up 200 years later and I'm Flash Gordon.
With Sleeper.
It's hard to believe that you haven't had sex for 200 years.
204 if you count my marriage.
Annie Hall.
What is this, an interview? We're supposed to be making love.
Bananas.
Bananas, bananas.
Everything you always wanted to know about sex. And Love and Death.
You could say I'm half saint, half whore.
Just hoping I get the half that eats.
5 comedies from one of the funniest guys around. Woody Allen in the director's chair. In April on Cinemax.
Oh, that was the most fun I've ever had without laughing.
Ravishing and romantic, scenic and savage. April on Vanguard Cinema. He was a soldier, a swashbuckler, and a brilliant wit, feared by all and afraid of none, except a woman.
Roxanne.
Gerard Depardieu is the towering hero with the terrible nose in the classic tale of tragic love. Nominated for 5 Oscars, including Best Foreign Film, the Cinemax import Cyrano de Bergerac.
Like to get on the tour tonight, folks?
The Great Niagara, a vacationer's mecca and a living battleground in the war between nature and civilization. Journey to one of the world's 7 wonders with the Cinemax documentary, The Falls. Moving and magical, topical and thought-provoking. Vanguard Cinema in April on Cinemax.
I've been working steady, and I've been going from one character to another, and so I haven't had time to be me. And I realized after 2.5 years, you lose sight of it. And I look in the mirror and I said, who's that old guy?
In the past few years, it seems as if Academy Award-winning character actor Joe Pesci has been in just about every major film released. His latest film is My Cousin Vinny, a comedy about an inexperienced New York attorney who comes to the rescue of his cousin and friend, 2 innocent boys accused of murder in the Deep South.
You graduated from law school 6 years ago. What have you been doing since? Studying for the bar. That's a lot of studying. What's this over here?
You never heard of grits?
Sure. I just actually never seen a grit before.
And as usual, Pesci plays a highly colorful character who is a fish out of water.
Is it possible the 2 youths...
To what? What was that word?
What word?
To what?
What?
Did you say Utes?
Starring opposite Pesci is Ralph Macchio, who plays Bill, Vinny's young cousin. He's best known for the title roles in The Karate Kid and its 2 sequels. And Marissa Tomei plays Vinny's girlfriend. She says adjusting to working in film took some time after co-starring on the hit television series A Different World.
When you get used to a whole new way of working and a new circumstance, that I never worked that way before for so long, meaning in film, on location, that type of part, and so it was just the getting used to that was more tiring than the work, which was really refreshing and fulfilling.
We agreed to get married as soon as you won your first case. Meanwhile, 10 years later, my niece, the daughter of my sister, is getting married. My biological clock is ticking like this, and the way this case is going, I ain't never getting married.
My Cousin Vinny portrays Southerners as somewhat backward. But then again, Vinny himself is not exactly a walking advertisement for sophisticated New York. Ralph Macchio says the filmmakers are prepared for all kinds of criticism in that regard.
It's very tough to make a movie, a fish out of water type picture, without offending somebody, because that's where in the comedy lies, in the 2 different culture types.
It's time to make your phone call.
The clans here, they're inbred. They sleep with their sisters.
Some of them do.
Joe Pesci is an actor who says he often builds his characters from the outside in, giving them a look and mannerisms before delving into their psyche. Pesci found inspiration for Vinny's persona in Brooklyn Attorneys.
I would go to court and watch them and see who would talk different ways, you know, and who would be charming, who would say something funny, who was powerful, who was scary or something, you know, little things I would pick up.
What?
Nothing. You stick out like a sore thumb around here.
Me? What about you?
I fit in better than you. At least I'm wearing cowboy boots.
Oh, yeah, you blend.
Long known as a respected supporting actor, Joe Pesci is more often seen lately in leading roles, having stepped into the spotlight with the title role in last year's The Super. It's something he's not entirely comfortable with.
You have the responsibility of taking the heat for the film. In the end, you know, I mean, the director can say and do what he wants, but you're the one that's going to take all the fall or the glory. And then they'll all jump in and get some glory too. You know, everybody else gets it. But if it's a downer, boy, they're not going to mention the cinematographer's name on the way down.
Well, one thing's for sure, My Cousin Vinny will never be described as a downer with the lively couple that Pesci and Tomei portray on screen.
Your Honor, may I have permission to treat Miss Vito as a hostile witness?
You think I'm hostile? Now wait till you see me tonight.
Do you two know each other?
Yeah, she's my fiancée.
Well, that would certainly explain the hostility.
Next, Phoebe Cates and Zach Galligan are caught in an evil fairy tale about a town besieged by hordes of nasty little gremlins. Next on Cinemax.
A Cinemax 30-day forecast. April showers. April Fools. And unfortunately, April taxes. It's Cinemax's most perfect month of movies. 170 movies. A maximum amount of monthly entertainment.
They'll squeal. They'll cry.
So whether it's April in Paris, April in Paradise, or April in Pittsburgh, it's no time to miss April on Cinemax. Cinemax, if you hate taxes.
And light. Hey! Hey, help! Up here!
Now you see him, now you don't. Actor Chevy Chase does a disappearing act in the new movie Memoirs of an Invisible Man. While he is typically cast in broad comedies, Chase says this time around he plays the straight man.
I really wanted to do something that didn't fall back on mannerisms that everyone who sees me is used to. And something that required a challenge, that was a challenge, required concentration and the playing of a different kind of character than I've played before.
In the film, Chase stars as Nick Holloway, an unsuspecting securities broker who Chase says finds himself in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Something's happened to the Magnascopics facility in Santa Mira.
Nick Holloway is an iconoclastic, procrastinating stock analyst who is a loner and is unmarried and basically lives a relatively shallow life. And he meets a girl, falls for her, and before he can see her again is rendered invisible by a freak industrial accident.
What are they doing to me? Wait a minute, who are you guys?
Keep your mouths shut, all of you. You're in a state of molecular flux. If you want to live, you're going to have to trust us.
The dilemma is that because of this accident, there are people in the government who are generally involved in covert action and activities who would like to use him. And he doesn't want any part of that.
While his invisibility does generate some humorous moments, Chase says Memoirs of an Invisible Man is not just a comedy.
It had elements of adventure and romance and comedy. But the tone of it, the desperate quality of what happens to somebody who's invisible as opposed, and the loneliness and all of that really interested me.
Actress Daryl Hannah stars opposite Chase as his leading lady, and she says she found acting alone in some of their love scenes quite challenging.
Just tell her you met a guy, like him a lot. Could be serious. He's transparent.
For the most part, I tried to turn my head away from the camera, so... but,